having no alcohol, when you put that unlawful weapon into your waistband without the proper license or authority, and then you use it on a human being, a valuable human being. Now, maybe you didn't give a crap about him, but the community does, and his family certainly does. They will be forever without him.
This is where the tone shifts completely. The judge isn't just reacting to a crime. She's addressing a pattern of decisions. Carrying an illegal weapon, walking into a bar, and pulling the trigger legally, that wipes out almost any sympathy argument. Do you think an apology can outweigh that chain of choices?
Your sorry doesn't cut it for me. Sir, let me just remind you, you pled to count 1, homicide, manslaughter, with the habitual third. It is punishable by up to 30 years, and count 2, weapons, felony, and firearms is 2 years preceding.
Yes.
What would you like us to know?
I would like to begin by expressing how truly sorry I am for what happened last February. I know that looking at my criminal history is easy to make an assumption that of who I am. And Your Honor, I'm disappointed in myself. I'm back in a position I promised myself and my mother that I would never be in again. My last criminal offense was over 10 years ago. I changed everything about who I am and who I was. I earned my GED, I earned a CDL, and was going through therapy, self-admitted. For once, everything in my life was going great. Then in February of last year, I went out with the intentions to just unwind, but I never envisioned that I would be attacked. I'm so far removed from that life that the thought of being sucker punched and then being jumped just wasn't even in the realm of reality for me. I regret that a life was lost, and for that I am sorry. I'm not proud of this. This is something I have to live with, something I've been living with, something I am one day going to have to answer to God for. Regardless of how this incident unfolded, who was drunk, and who was the aggressor, I am sorry for the role I played in it. And I pray that the family can one day find it in their hearts to forgive me. And I ask that the court takes everything from this case into consideration. I'm asking for leniency, mercy. Thank you.
And there it is, zero leniency. In legal terms, the judge is rejecting mitigation. The defendant tried to show rehabilitation, GED, job, therapy, but the court is laser focused on escalation. One bad night didn't define this case. The decisions leading up to it did.
I have no leniency and no mercy to give you, because what I see is an escalation. What I see is someone who has said, I've done all of these great things, and so I want you to give me credit for violating the law, carrying a gun into a bar and firing twice into a human who dies. Could have fired into the ceiling. That would have scared everybody. That would have been a cry for help, if that's what you needed. But taking a gun to a fist fight doesn't work. You were a felon, you knew you couldn't have a weapon. You chose to drink. You had control of your life, how much you drank, and whether or not you took an unlawful gun with you. So all of these great things that you did and that everybody's so proud of gets erased by carrying a weapon concealed unlawfully on your person in a bar where you drink. So your decision making is clouded by the alcohol. But it was already clouded having no alcohol when you put that unlawful weapon into your waistband without the proper license or authority, and then you use it on a human being, a valuable human being. Now, maybe you didn't give a crap about him, but the community does, and his family certainly does. They will be forever without him. He will not share birthdays, holidays, graduations. There are no more hugs. There are no more celebrations with him. His family has to keep him alive by the memories.
This is the part that hits hardest. The judge draws a powerful contrast. One man gets visits, the other gets memories. That's the emotional weight courts consider in sentencing. Justice here isn't just punishment. It's about accountability, deterrence, and protecting everyone else in the same outcome.
He left behind, by the footprint he left behind. Your sorry doesn't cut it for me. You do not just have 1 or 2 crimes. You have, what, 7 felonies? And, what, another 7, 6 or 7, let's see, 6 felonies prior, now it's 7, and 5 prior misdemeanor. What haven't you learned those other 13 times you were before a judge? If anybody speaks out anymore, the officer will take you into custody. It is contempt. 93 days jail and or $7,500 is contempt. I don't care about the money, but you'll have 93 days in our hotel in Mason. So I expect a quiet courtroom. I don't know where your counseling went wrong. I don't know where all these good deeds went wrong, but they didn't go far enough. You need some significant time behind bars so that when you are out, the rest of us can be assured that maybe you learned your lesson and you can keep us all safe. There's a man who will not be able to have conversations with his family. You'll be behind bars, but you can still see your family and they can send you pictures and they can come visit you. Unlike the man who was loved that you took down. As to count 1, homicide, manslaughter, you are sentenced to 171 months to 360 months. 0 credit days. You will pay private assessment in the amount of $130 and a $68 state cost. As to count 2, weapons, felony, firearms, you will serve 24 months with credit for 402 days that you've already served. That time will be served consecutive with and preceding count 1, which technically is count 6. And count 7. I think we need to change that on the cover page. I want the restitution paid first. While you are incarcerated, you will participate in cognitive behavioral trade school. Anything else you would like him to participate in?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'm sure the Department of Corrections will have other programming for you, sir. I believe that this punishment, given the circumstances, the escalation, and the thoughtlessness that went into bringing a gun, an illegal gun, into a bar, being drunk, and firing it against a punch or 2 or 3. I believe this punishment is sufficient and proportional. It speaks to the necessary continued rehabilitation of the defendant. Hopefully it deters others and protects society. There are far too many illegal weapons and people who decide they want to be all powerful and excuse their actions away by carrying a gun.